Sky Sports.
Seize the day.
Wigan arrived in Cumbria on the back of the best winning sequence in the game. 11 straight league and cup victories, including the Charity Shield success in Dublin last Sunday. And they lead by 26 points to 6 at half-time. The tries from Horton 2, Radlinski, Cassidy of Fire, Farrell the 3 goals, Burns and Marwood on the score sheet for Workington. And there is Steve-O saying that here comes the summer, and he really is catching the spirit of the summer, and I can tell you it's pretty warm up here in Cumbria tonight. Sun disappeared a while ago, but my word, the players must be losing a few pounds out there, and in the commentary box as well, Steve-O. Pretty hot? Losing anything?
Well, I can only perspire these days. I'm afraid the hair went a long time ago, but yes, it is very humid out there. But
big problem for Phil McKenzie and his coaching number 1 or number 2, whichever way you want to look at it, Billy McGinty. Changes needed to stem the Wigan tide, but how do you do that when you've got 2 coaches out there on the field?
Well, they've got to go back to basics at Workington. They've got to make sure that they play out their complement of tackles and ensure that the defensive pattern, which was so good for the first opening 10, I'm afraid it just collapsed after that.
So the second 40 minutes of the Stones Bitter Centenary Championship season, and it's begun as the first half ended, with Wigan on the attack and Workington dropping the ball. O'Connor swooping on possession. This is Quinnell with all the strength that he's built through the summer in the training room, and it took 5 Workington players to force him back. Martin Hall to the engineer-in-chief. He finds Radlinski. Radlinski, a bad ball to Twiggamala. It went backwards. The crowd screaming for the knock-on, but the ball went backwards from Twiggamala, no doubt about that. This is Farrell. Wigan retained possession. There's Twiggamala now, and a penalty against Workington. Offside at the play of the ball against Workington.
Not only that, he was interfering with the big fella trying to play the football. And not surprisingly, Wigan take the quick tap. They want to get on with it.
This is Connolly, cut down though by Burns. O'Fire, the man at dummy half, and he finds Cassidy.
Then again, release him away.
Referee Stuart Cummings, not the most popular man at Derwent Park, but doing his job absolutely to the letter of the law. And that's the reason why Mr. Cummings is not terribly popular. A 9-2 penalty count against Workington. This is a Fire trying to break through a little gap, gets the ball out wide to Robinson, and Kitchen going for a piggyback on Robinson, pulling him down. Twiggamala to Edwards. This now is O'Connor. Last tackle here for Wigan. They're 5 metres short of the line. Edwards looking, waiting, delaying the pass to Paul. He finds Connolly. Connolly, well, that's unusual, a kick across the face of the play. Wigan, though, will keep the movement going, but Wigan were offside.
Henry Paul was in front of the kicker, so therefore he has to allow the 10 metres. Referee Stuart Cummings seeing whether there was any advantage to Workington, none forthcoming, therefore the penalty goes to the Town. Bit of an injury to the French centre David Frace as well, who seemed to get a stud, stray stud or a stray boot. He looks in a lot of pain. And there you see, maybe a couple of inches, but there was never any doubt in the mind of Stuart Cummings. Well, there's one good thing that over the past 12 months we've seen in the referees. They appear to be very confident these days.
Yes, they do. They're very confident in the way they go about their business. Let's get some half-time news from the touchline. Here's Bill.
Final words from Sean Edwards as the team was ready to come out for the second half were, "Don't be cold, not like we were last week," referring to the first minutes of the second half against Leeds in the Charity Shield when Wigan were a little bit sluggish. So obviously they're going to hit Workington early on, but a very positive message from Workington Town. Their reserve coach Gary Smith on the bench says They've really got to try and put Wigan under pressure. The one time they've put them under pressure, they've actually scored a try. Well, that's what you call a positive mental attitude.
That's the way they've got to look at it. The ball, by the way, has hit Shaun Edwards, and he made the play for it, according to referee Stuart Cummings. So Workington get the head and feet at the scrum, and this is David Frace. But that's the attitude that Workington have got to adopt, Steve-O. The first time, really, they attacked the Wigan line, they scored. And if they can do that a bit more often, who knows?
Well, it's just simple basics, isn't it? What it's all about, rugby league football. Far too many people trying to make it too complicated.
Crunch time for Riley by Twigamala. Mackenzie in at dummy half. He finds Wayne Kitchen, who finds Dean Marwood, and in turn they give it to Johnson. And Mark Johnson has all the strength in the world, the South African Rhino. He showed that during his stint with the London Broncos. Marwood turns the ball back inside to his player coach McGinty, and Hall there stole the ball. Hall made a play for that ball, and for mine he knocked it out.
Well, that's probably the first mistake we've seen from Cummings on that occasion. You can see clearly that the hooker, the right arm, swinging the ball away, and that should have been a penalty. Things just not going right for Workington at the moment. Just when they needed to keep possession, they lost it on the first tackle right from the kickoff.
What an elusive character Robinson is. Big or small, he doesn't mind. He'll take them all on. And what's more, as he went to get to his feet, McGinty had another snap at him. So Wigan restart on halfway. Here's Scott Quinnell. Quinnell, his 12th appearance for this Wigan club tonight. Almost losing the ball in the play of the ball, and he did. Put the ball on the deck, and Workington were allowed to strike for it, and that's exactly what they did.
Inexperience there. Place the ball on the ground for an eternity. It was enough for Workington to strike at it. Now they've got Wigan on the back foot. They've really got to capitalise now.
Wayne Kitchen trying to do that, but tackled by Andy Farrell. Mackenzie, the dummy half, to Marwood. There's big Colin Armstrong, and he gives it to David Frace, the Frenchman. He finds Paul Burns, has lost his footing. Hall, the man completing the tackle. Last one for Workington. The ball hoisted underneath the posts. Big test for Radlinski. Ball drops. It's a penalty. Pushing as the ball came down against McGinty. Penalty to Wigan.
Beautiful kick, wasn't it? They knew that the post perhaps was going to get involved, but you can see that McGinty took out the man before the football.
So here come Wigan again. Twigamala to Robinson. Robinson stands and releases the ball to O'Connor. Tucks it under his arm, tries to make progress, slips the pass to Hall. He finds Andy Farrell. Yes, the man, Radlinski, taken out before the ball reached him. Player hurt. It's Phil Mackenzie, the Workington hooker, and player coach watching as Quinnell goes on a marauding run, tries to get the pass away, and Penrice picks up the pieces.
Well, a good run there, but not the best pass. The idea was okay, but he just, he lost control, and that'll be a knock-on.
Peter Riley, perhaps not expecting the pass as the man went down.
How many times have we seen Workington make a bad mistake on either the first or second tackle? It's like a cancer, it just eats away at you there. You've got to be able to get it, and that's a big blow.
Yes, Phil Mackenzie going off, damaged ribs, and Jonty Gawley comes on. That's a hooker for a hooker. Gawley, the man who actually forced Mackenzie to play loose forward once or twice last season. Twigamala, well, Graham West won't be happy with that. Just spilled the ball inside, nobody there except a blue and white jersey.
Well, when you have a 20-point lead, okay, you can be a little bit fancy, but that was a nothing pass. Second occasion, Twigamala that time, Quinnell before. The word will be out. Graham West will say, calm it down a bit. And that man there making the tackle, Sean Edwards, the skipper, he'll have a few words to say, I'm sure.
Penrice grounded, second attempt by Cassidy. Here's Roland Phillips, a drive up to the halfway line. Gets the pass away. They did well keeping hold of it then. Did Jonty Gawley. Kick downfield from Holgate. Gawley was after it, but Radlinski got there first. Now a fire.
Holgate tried to milk the penalty there.
Paul gives it to Twigamala. Twigamala gets the pass away to Simon Horton. Simon Horton straight up the middle.
This is where Wigan will be looking for the link.
There's Farrell on a diagonal run. Looked over the shoulder, had to take the tackle though. They're midway inside the Workington half of the field with Hall. Gets the pass away to Connolly. Connolly saw a little gap. Was quickly closed down though by Roland Phillips. Here's Edwards. Misses out one and finds Henry Paul. That's a fire. Oh, basketball fashion back into the arms of Connolly. And those sort of tricks don't just happen. Wigan practice those on the training field. Here's Edwards, dinks it over the top, looking for Paul. O'Connor collided with the post, but the referee calls it back because I think he says O'Connor was offside.
I think you'll find it's a forward pass. Neat kick over the top there. And you can see the ball was projected forward, propelled forward, should I say. Well, a little bit sloppy at the moment from both sides. But you can see this Wigan defence is still strong. They're still forcing Workington into one-out football.
Referee ruling that was a knock-on from Henry Paul, so it was the turnover on the last tackle, not a penalty. That's why Workington are in possession and deserve credit for making progress in that set of six. It was right on their own line, and now they're 8 metres from the Wigan line, but the ball in the arms of Radlinski.
Pretty confident from the youngster there. Radlinski, eyes on the football at all time. Now this is where Workington really have to just apply the pressure, trying to force Wigan into making a mistake.
Scott Quinnell with that run there. He was desperate to pull up the trees this season and make a big impact in the big league, as is Terry O'Connor there in possession now for Wigan. Big things expected of some of the lesser lights from last season. This fella's no lesser light though. Farrell with a beautiful pass. He gives it to Henry Paul, and that's magnificent. You can put that down to Andy Farrell, who likes nothing more than to break tackles, hand players off and put his colleagues through the gap, and that's exactly what he did then for Henry Paul.
Upper body strength. You must go low for this guy. You can't try to grasp there. Dean Marwood had no chance to stop the juggernaut going through. Beautiful step off the left foot from Henry Paul. But notice how many support players, as soon as Farrell made the break, had quite a few in support. Cool, calm and collected. Look at that. Turns them inside out. Skillful player, Henry Paul.
Wigan's sixth try. Henry Paul's first. Henry Paul's first of the season. So Andy Farrell, who created the try, now has the opportunity to add the extras. Three from 6 for Farrell. Wigan aiming for a 7th successive league title. I'll give you some figures shortly that just emphasise the gulfing class between Wigan and the rest, as Farrell improves the Henry Paul try, and Wigan now 32, Workington 6.
See how the big fella runs the angle first. Now if you don't get your tackle in, see how he moves in there, Marwood. Now Marwood's such a small player, you've got to go low. Look at the step, in and out, has the speed. There's nothing they can do to stop the talented Kiwi in for another 4 points.
So Henry Paul's try. Workington restart with Dean Marwood, and just let me give you those figures that just show why Wigan are odds-on favourites again, as they have been for the past 6 seasons. In the past 6 seasons, they've played 164 matches. Wigan have won 133 of those. They've drawn 3, and they've only lost 28 games in 6 years. It's frightening, Steve.
That's why the silverware glistens at Central Park. That's the way to tackle. Colin Armstrong leaning away, but a little bit too late, I fear.
Last tackle for Wigan. That's a better tackling stint by Workington. Edwards just drifts one over the top. Livet allows it to bounce, watches it, and gets back in the field of play. I think he's promising, that full-back for Workington. Unfair to judge him on a night like this, Steve-O, but he's come into the game at 24, quite late. But on his big league debut, the Workington full-back hasn't done too bad, apart from getting sin-binned, of course.
No, he's taken some pretty good bombs, and his positional play is okay. On that occasion, he knew that Sean Edwards perhaps would be looking for the kick. It's all about reading the game. He can certainly do that. But they really haven't done justice to themselves, this Workington outfit.
And the kick downfield, straight into the arms of Martin Afire, who sets off on one of those runs of his. And that was high. Afire took one on the top of the head.
He'll go. He's got to go for that one, I'm afraid. Swinging arm, Roland Phillips. I'll be surprised if he stays on for that one. Flat of the hand may get him away with it perhaps, but the intent was there.
Yeah, Roland Phillips stays on the field. He jogs back into the defensive line. And let's go downstairs to Bill.
Big moment for Martin Dermott because he's just come on for Wigan, replacing hooker Martin Hall. And Dermott really was in the shadows most of last season. He lost his place through injury. He was never able to regain it and spent most of the time playing in the A-team and coaching in schools around the northwest. So he's back in action for Wigan tonight.
It's Martin Dermott in his benefit year. I don't honestly think the Sky camera's got a glimpse of Mr. Dermott last season, but we will do now, because there he is at dummy half. And he finds Edwards, who in turn pops it up to Farrell. Martin Dermott, benefit year, number 17. Continued this week with a very successful golf day, I understand. Steve-O and I were not invited, which we're not too pleased about. Dermott again, Edwards. Good ball back to Quinnell. Scott Quinnell! Just held up short of the line, is he? No, the referee gives the try. He barged his way to the line, Quinnell. And that's the strength and power that Quinnell has been building all this season in the training room throughout this summer.
And the creator, again, Sean Edwards. Wigan run the angle. Again, unselfish play from the other players. The dummy running back on the inside, and the strength of the former rugby union star. See how he just shimmied the ball across there. McGinty has realised far too late. Caught a bad one, did McGinty there. I think the stray elbow from Quinnell made its mark. Superb pass, superb running. Not the best tackles though, is it? Not one of 6 Workington players made any attempt to go low, and that is the reason why that man has picked up a 4-pointer.
Yes, Scott Quinnell. McGinty tried to stop him, but must feel like he's been run over by a forklift truck. It was Scott Quinnell. He went on tour with the Welshman to America and played against the Patriots in Philadelphia and ran in a hat-trick. So he is very much knocking on the door of Clive Griffith's Welsh party for the World Cup in October. Andrew Farrell now, 4 out of 7 tonight, aiming for 5 from 8. Remember, 8 from 9 last week against Leeds in Dublin. And I suppose if there is one blemish on Andy Farrell's display tonight, it is his goal kicking. But when you're running in tries with monotonous regularity, who needs a kicker?
You see the circle player, he's the dummy runner. Yano out wide is a big fella, Quinnell. They do so much unselfish running to create situations like that. And when you've got a master like Sean Edwards spraying those wonderful passes around, not surprisingly, that man finished off with another try.
Andrew Johnson's about to come on for Wigan. In fact, he's on now. Mick Cassidy, the man who he replaces. And would you believe that the drought is over here in Cumbria? It is now raining again at Derwent Park. Workington too have made a change. Kevin Paper's come on for Paul Burns. Meanwhile, this is Robinson, and the referee says play on. A fire with the soccer skills, but he's no Ryan Giggs.
Well, Quinnell was offside there. He's not that fast. But Sean Edwards has given Robinson eyeball to eyeball. What on earth were you doing, he said. A try went begging. He did everything right up until now. Too far in front, too high. And as Eddie mentioned, no Ryan Giggs there.
Pape on then, and Burns is the man who has gone off. Workington's try scorer tonight. He is Roland Phillips. Referee was unhappy with the way Phillips waited for that challenge, raised the elbow.
Well, I don't know why he had a little smile to Stuart Cummins. Perhaps he thought that he was looking to stay on. That's how a jaw can be broken. Well, O'Connor felt that.
And here is O'Connor now, ready to take the ball back into the Workington territory. It's an overwhelming penalty count that Wigan are enjoying, 13-4. Quinnell again, legs pumping. Dermot, the dummy half. The call was from Johnson. Johnson, so close, just held up. Paul to Connolly, the queuing up, Robinson. His running has deserved a try, and his running gets a try. Jason Robinson, Great Britain international. 2 tries now for 50 in Wigan's colours. That's all he needs.
Wonderful skills from Jason Robinson. Look how he came back on the inside. The timing was to near perfection. Look at the steps there, in and out. This Workington Town defence is all at sea. It all came about with a dummy run from Johnson, and then the link was on. Superb pass there from Connolly. Just held it up at the right moment. The power and the strength and the speed. It is pretty to watch. Beautiful pass. Again, the dummy run. And it was Edwards that was a dummy on that occasion. But look at that. Shimmy, the step. Superb stuff.
The champions are running hot on the opening night of the season. The gauntlet's thrown down. Farrell gets the direction right this time. 42 points to 6. And a message to St Helens and the rest. Follow this if you can.
This is how it came about. We talk about the dummy runner. Workington thought Johnson was going to be the dummy runner. Just watch. He shouts as though he is, and they give it to him straight at the last moment. He nearly scores. Quick play the ball. 4 players, a quick look how they're all around the play the ball area, back on the inside, and you can see the sliding defence was not there.
The sliding defence had slid away. 42-6. Standing by St Helens for the title. I'm not going to let you forget this.
It does not surprise me at all. People don't realise how cruel you can be.
They know how cruel Wigan can be because look at Quinnell. Look at get him.
And the big thing is that it's taken 3 men to get him down. Quick play the ball, link out wide, and Workington are in trouble again.
Twigamala with the run this time. Radlinski there in support. They keep it going. This is Henry Paul. Henry Paul into the arms of Horton, and Quinnell this time knocks on. Not the greatest pass, to be fair to the Welshman. He's a big lad.
It was dipping, and Quinnell was looking at the gap that it was going through.
Steve-O, talking of the Saints Wigan factor in this centenary season, don't forget August bank holiday Monday, the 28th of August. We shall be at Knowsley Road at 1 o'clock for a 2 o'clock kickoff for Saints against Wigan.
Don't miss it, because the tickets will be like hen's teeth. Rare.
.5 minutes to go.
Workington really have to look at pride now. That's what it's all about for them. There's a swinging arm. Johnson it was. Well, he had a good run. A few moments earlier there, give away a silly penalty then. But it's important now that Workington Town just push this to the back burner. The game is over for them, so they've got to start building. Oh, that's a high one there from Quinnell. Not seen by the referee. That was a crunch time. That was a penalty, surely. Oh!
Big guy, little guy. Big guy won. But Workington still in possession. They're 10 metres short of the line. This is Frace. We've seen nothing much of the classy Frenchman tonight. Really haven't had the chance. Gawley was the dummy half to Marwood. That's Kitchen. McGinty was the dummy runner. A little dab through. A fire's there. And a fire was tracked all the way by Kevin Pape.
Good play by the substitute there. Nice little kick there from Wayne Kitchen. But equal to the task was Billy Idle, as Eddie calls him. I must check on who that guy is.
Drop out from under their own sticks by Andy Farrell. Good length on it too. 10 metres inside the Workington half of the field. Mark Johnson, another of the new boys, and there's Frace, and he finds Marwood, who in turn finds Livette.
Once again, it's been a great defensive performance from Wigan as well. You see how Sean Edwards moved in there? He moved in so quickly out wide. It just channels the forwards down the middle. And when you got the likes of Cassidy and Horton and Farrell, pretty strong back three, they will tackle all day.
No one standing in front of Roland Phillips. Takes the ball to himself. Connolly doing the tackling on Jonty Gawley. It's the last tackle here for Workington. Now, can they get some consolation? Dab through by Kitchen. Radlinski watches it all the way, gets it back into the field of play. And David Frace, well, we have seen little of him in attack, but my word, he has worked hard in defence, the Frenchman. Oh, but look at the way Paul steps out of the challenges, and he's off on another run. Livette just managed to hold him up. Frace and the loose forward Holgate all over Henry Paul, and Paul has milked it. And David Frace is in the sin bin. Well, they were all over him, Steve-O. Maybe it could have been there, the penalty.
Yeah.
And Henry Paul, an Academy Award.
Yes. A French farce, that's for sure. There would have been a few pardons in there, I'm sure.
He did lift the right knee, though, did you see? Just slightly.
Oh, come on.
I'm only trying to defend the referee.
Why? He made a mistake. He milked it.
Well, the debate will rage.
I rest my case.
Dermot and O'Connor. Well, Workington have to see out the next 10 minutes, down to 12 men, and last time they were down to 12 when Livette got marching orders. They ran in 2 tries. Gary Connolly, the callers from a fire out wide. It was a risky pass as Connolly fell.
Well, you can take the risk, can't you, at 42-6. You know the 2 points and winning money is in the bag.
I think O'Fire knew here he just had to take the ball and he was in. That's why he held his head in his hands.
Well, it's at times like this. There's the handling errors. We're going to make quite a few. But to add to that Workington tally, they've given away so many silly penalties. And they've allowed Wigan to take control of this game. But at 42-6, this is where Wigan have to start setting up and going through the repertoire of moves, set patterns. It's nothing more than a training run from them now.
Armstrong takes Workington up to the halfway line. McGinty, quick hands from him to Roland Phillips. Started so well, didn't it, for Workington Town? The opening 10, well, it was rip-roaring stuff. But then Wigan really got into the swing of the big league season on the opening night. And, well, the scoreline does tell its own story.
Kick it into the corner from Wayne Kitchen. He's been bottled up very well by his opposite, Henry Paul, tonight. Combination, Henry Paul and Sean Edwards.
Just look at that new time for the Saints against the Bulls on Sunday, 8:30 on Sunday night. The whole match for you is live. Should be quite an occasion at Knowsley Road, and they will certainly have the red carpet out for my bald friend.
Championship material.
Radlinski. Last 10 minutes now. Wigan have the 2 points in the bag. Workington will certainly want to finish strongly. They won't want to concede much more. Dermot, the dummy half. Now it's Farrell. Farrell bursts through another tackle.
Wigan run the angle so well. They're always trying to prize out that opening. Nice tackle there from Penrice. Bit of a Cumberland throw, or should I say Cumbria throw these days.
Schubert's returned. O'Fire is off on another run. Gets the pass away. Henry Paul went without the ball. Knock on is the referee's decision, and rightly.
Got a good cruncher did Henry Paul from Kitchen in the back there. Just as he was trying to bend down on it.
Wigan ringing the changes. Coach Graham West bringing Rob Smythe into the action. We saw him last weekend against Leeds in Dublin. Almost got a try on his first team debut across the water. Here's Roland Phillips.
Look at that,
wrapped up by O'Connor.
Look at that defence again. We're into the final 10 minutes, and Wigan are running up quickly and just applying the pressure. Look at that. They're not waiting for this Workington Town side to come to them. They are moving forward.
They're throwing the gauntlet down, Steve-O, aren't they? They're telling the rest of the big league that they want that championship trophy in this, the centenary season, to reside in the Central Park boardroom forevermore.
Nice kick from Dean Marwood, but he knows he's had a quiet game behind a well-beaten pack.
It was Wigan's half in the opening 40, and it remains so in the second 40 minutes here at Derwent Park. That's Rob Smythe, player of the tournament in the Wigan Sevens just a couple of weeks ago. Rob Smythe, another one to roll off the production line at Central Park. Twigamala gets the ball away to Robinson. Here goes Robinson again. He's done this all night. Gets the pass away to Henry Paul. Paul waits and finds Smythe. Tackle completed by Penrice.
Another good tackle as well. But it's free-flowing now. Wigan really have the tails up.
Andrew Johnson heading for the corner. Livett is after him, but he couldn't prevent Johnson from scoring the try. Johnson, an angled run. He decided to take them on out wide, and he's not been given it. The referee has pulled it back. He's pulled it back for a scrum.
Must have just got a foot in touch there. It was a good run, though, on the substitute. See how he carried the ball in the left hand so that he could fend off with the right.
So no try. Looked for all the world like it was. There's a try now. They didn't get in one side, so they'll get in the other with Jason Robinson. Robinson second. His second try of the night and, of course, of the season. Wigan denied on one side of the field, and they decided that they may as well score on the other.
This is a disallowed try. It was a good run, though, wasn't it, from the youngster? Look at Johnson there. Does the shimmy. Yes, foot on the line. Well spotted by the touch judge. And then one against the head. First one tonight. What a time to do it. Simple, basic football. Spin the ball out wide, which Wigan have been doing all evening. The overlap, tremendous play. That's what comes about when you get one against the head. That's another thing that I've noticed. In the scrums, the ball is actually being fed into the tunnel fairly straight, and the hookers are having to strike for it. And they spilled it there, another mistake. And that's how it came, another mistake there for Workington. Easy, so easy.
Robinson's try, it's improved by Andy Farrell. $48 points to 6. The champions back in business in the big league in a big way. Incredible. Denied one side, and out they go the other way, and over the line goes Robinson. And Wigan get another 6 points. 4 minutes to go then. It's a victory stroll now for Wigan. Workington, Steve-O, what can we say about them? They started so brightly, courageous in the opening 10 minutes. Much anticipation on the terraces, but they've committed Harry Carey.
Yes, tonight, I'm afraid, in a different class. Wigan have produced some wonderful skills.
Workington, of course, members of the new Super League in March. They need all the guts and determination that they can come up with, the sort of guts they showed in the opening 10 here. And let's be fair, they won't face Wigan every week.
No, they've caught them on the bounce, really. I mean, Wigan have shown some tremendous skills, especially Sean Edwards.
Not there, though, from Paul.
No, it's just to prove that they're human at times. But that man really does just make this team tick. A little short pass, a little kick. One of the best generals in rugby league history.
Away, release him away!
Wigan complete the tackle. You probably heard the touch judge in the background there saying, release him, get away. And that's exactly what they do. David Fraser's returned from the sin bin. Here's Roland Phillips. Trying to brush the tacklers off. Now watch, they will complete the tackle and immediately, despite the fact we're so late in the game, release the man and stand up in a defensive line. Wayne Kitchen, well, he probably wants a big hole to appear so as he can jump into it.
Been the story of the night for Workington. Silly penalties given away. Basic mistakes. You just cannot afford to do that against this well-worked machine. They really are pretty to watch. And then look at this guy.
Here he goes again, Robinson, turning Livett inside out, one way then the other, applying the brakes. Where's the support? It's arrived from Henry Paul. He clips it over the top. That's a good chase back, though, by Holgate. It bounced off his knees, and in the end, he just had to hack it dead. It was unfortunate there, the young loose forward. He had Edwards breathing right down his neck.
But what a superb kick over, though, from Henry Paul. And look who's there chasing. Good work from the loose forward, Stephen Holgate. He's tried hard, but Sean Edwards, not only the creator, wanted to get on the try-scoring list, but he'll be happy with the performance from his side.
More pressure coming in then on this Workington Town outfit in the last minute and a quarter. A fumble from Henry Paul, but he was facing his own post. The ball went backwards. That was a little knock-on for mine. Doesn't matter, Frace has it back.
He went backwards, though.
Inside the last minute, McGinty will keep it going. McGinty, even though he's on the end of a good hiding tonight, did you see when he picked himself up after that tackle, he had a little smile. Remember, when he was in the Wigan camp, the likes of Horton, Cassidy and Farrell were learning their trade in the reserve team and the academy.
Well, to be fair to this Workington Town side as well, they really do need to look for a coach very quickly. I'm not taking anything away from the efforts of Mackenzie and Billy McGinty, but really, player coach these days, that went out many, many years ago. You need all your wits about you, and you need to be able to analyse from afar, make the decisions. It is extremely difficult while you're out there on the paddock.
Yes, you can't have a clear mind, can you, in the heat of the battle?
And I'm afraid that this Workington Town side look a little bit lost at times.
Henry Paul just got a fingertip to it. The knock on, it's all over. Timekeepers have added just 10 seconds for stoppages, and Wigan have won in a canter in the end. Scott Quinnell with a try in this second half. One of 4 that Wigan scored, and Simon Horton, mark his name down as one of the stars of the future, because Betts might have gone, but the number 11 jersey is in very safe hands. Wigan's championship will take some taking away from them. They have won here at Workington, not the easiest place in the world to come and win, and they have hammered Workington 48 points to 6.
You're watching Sky Sports.
Tomorrow's highlights on Sky. At 7 on Sky 1, a deadly meteor out of control turns killer in Space Precinct.
We have to stop it.
A close encounter at 8 in The X-Files Reopened.
The truth is out there.
Stop, please!
At 9, real-life action on the streets of America in Cops. Robert De Niro stars in the TV premiere of Bronx Tale on the Movie Channel.
Is it better to be loved or feared?
Just some of the entertainment tomorrow on Sky.
Tasty.
As time goes by, you notice skin losing firmness and fine lines appearing here on the surface. So what can we do? Clinical tests prove that a new cream from Oil of Ulay can help. Enriched with vitamin E and ceramides, it enhances the unique natural springs found at the surface of the skin to help restore the feeling of firmness and smooth away the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles in under 14 days. And the name? Wrinkle Smoothing Cream from Oil of Ulay.
Those men who are always there for others, who pass on traditions, who give their best every day. We give our best. Gillette Sensor Excel. Spring-mounted twin blades that adjust to your face, and soft, flexible microfins that set up your beard. And Gillette Series Shave Gel. There's no better shave gel. Sensor Excel. For the closest, most comfortable shave ever. Gillette, the best a man can get.
So what's the secret of the man's success?
Clearasil Max. Respect.
Clearasil Max will change your life completely.
Nothing you can buy gets rid of spots faster.
So strong you have to buy it from a pharmacist.
Clearasil Max 10 opens the pore, absorbs the grease and dries the spot fast.
No, I use Clearasil Max. She won't even look at another bloke.
Oh. Face facts. Clearer skin, Clearasil Max. It couldn't be clearer.
Come on, checkbook. We're going to France for the weekend.
I'll stay here. Hold the fort.
Move it, Lofty.
See you Sunday. Everyone's a winner with JJB Sports and Adidas. The brand with 3 stripes brings you the Questra Cup football boot. Junior sizes $19.99, senior sizes $29.99. Tora Cup boots, junior sizes $19.99, senior sizes $29.99. There's the Adidas Valencia Cup football boot at the fantastic JJB price of $39.99. And for the ultimate control, the Predator Cup football boot, junior sizes $39.99.
Everyone's a winner, baby.
Nice one.
Seize the day.
Great win then for Wigan as the fireworks display continues here at Derwent Park. To see the crowd of over 7,000 home. 48 points to 16, the champions have won. Horton 2, Robinson 2, Radlinski, Cassidy afire, Paul Quinnell. Let's hear from a couple of the try scorers, starting with the Welshman, Scott Quinnell. Scott, I think a lot of people have written you off for quite a few weeks, so you must be delighted after the ankle ligament injury to actually be back in action.
Oh yeah, delighted. You know, it was when I hobbled off against Workington, I thought it was going to be a few weeks before I go back, but luckily enough, you know, they've worked well on it, and hopefully, you know, it's right for the rest of the season.
A few cobwebs tonight still?
Oh yeah, obviously, you know, I only played 30 minutes before tonight, and you know, glad to have 40, 45 minutes or whatever it was tonight, and you know, hopefully build on that.
And the Wigan performance, I think, were you anticipating more maybe from Workington?
Oh, you know, they're a tough side, especially up here. You know, our boys played extremely well tonight. You know, they worked well as a team, and you know, hopefully we can build on that.
Now, what's all this about superhuman efforts in the gym?
Oh, I don't know anything about that. You'll have to ask some of the other boys.
You've been lifting phenomenal weights, haven't you?
Yeah, no more than the rest of the boys, I think. But you know, you do your work off season, and hopefully it pays them when the season comes round.
Scott, thanks very much indeed.
Thank you very much.
Another try scorer for Wigan tonight, Simon Horton, following up good Charity Shield. It's been a great start for you, hasn't it?
It has, yeah. I've been very lucky. There's like Dennis and Phil have left last season, so it's been a good chance for me, and I've taken it with both hands.
You mentioned 2 great Britain stars, great hard acts to follow. It must be pretty awesome.
They are, yeah, but the lads are great. Sean and Andy Farrell's been helping us all, so it makes it a lot easier when you've got players like that behind you.
What about tonight's performance?
I think we've still got a lot to work on. I think, you know, we lost a lot of ball, but I think it'll come. We'll work on it in training, watch the videos, so I think it'll come as the season goes on.
Thanks very much indeed, Simon.
The way they understate everything at Wigan. Still got a bit of work to do. Look at the statistics from that match. The penalties 14-5 in their favour. The Workington Town supporters incensed by that penalty count, but nothing that the referee could do about it, in all fairness. Handling errors, Wigan made 11 to Workington 7, and the statistics about possession, well, that does tell the story. Overwhelmingly Wigan first half. Workington got it back together a little bit in the second 40 minutes. I can't believe the way that Scott Quinnell and Simon Horton have just dismissed this performance as though it's something that they can now build on. I mean, anybody else in the game would be ecstatic with the way that the opening match of the season's gone. And 48-6, Steve-O, I mean, where on earth can they go from here? If they're going to get better, what on earth are we going to do about them?
Well, the thing is, that's why they are so professional. They look at everything. They analyse their own game. They look at it as a team situation. They know that their coach, Graham West, will be doing exactly the same thing tomorrow, or during the week at training, there will have been a few things that will have been a bit of a problem for them, and they will work hard at it. That's why they are so professional. That is why they've won so many trophies. But when you have a player like Shaun Edwards in your ranks, he is just a master. He may be getting a little bit long in the tooth now, but he's got those beautiful little silky skills that create so much. Simon Horton must be in heaven, because he knows that when you've got a guy like that, he'll certainly make him into a superstar in the not too distant future.
Well, Greg McCallum, the Wigan side have lost this season Botica, Betts, Clark. The faces change, results don't change.
No, they don't. They're top-line players that they've lost, but as we were talking about earlier, that the young guys from the production line come through, and good luck to them. But a guy like Andrew Farrell, he's in great competition for a spot in the England World Cup side, of course, and he'll have to keep playing that well to grab one of those jerseys, because Phil Clark will be back claiming one back from Australia.
Absolutely. Now, inevitably, when a team loses, the referee gets the blame, and the Workington Town crowd believe, well, they say we were bad, but the referee was worse. Now, I don't necessarily go along with that, and Steve-O, I know, thinks that Stuart Cummings had a fairly good game.
I was happy with his performance. One thing that Steve-O said during the game is that they look confident. I can assure people of one thing: referees aren't out there for a popularity contest. They're out there to do the job, and if Stuart Cummings can go out there tonight, withstand the barracking that he got, and stand tall after the game, well, he's the sort of guy I want.
I tell you what, Steve-O, they've got to be strong characters, haven't they, the referees? Because if the barracking they get is anything like the barracking you got as we made our way from the gantry to the studio, it's a good job you've not got a whistle.
Greg thinks it's a good job that I haven't got a whistle as well. Yeah, it's all about character, and I think getting back to what the players said, turning things down and not getting too excited about it, because they realise, and I'm sure that Graham West realises, that up until now, the start of this season, Dublin against Leeds last week, tonight, they have not been put on the rack. They have not been put under the pressure. And Graham West knows that somewhere down the track this season, they are going to find it very, very tough. And he knows that some of these youngsters who at the moment are basking in the glory, and why not? Because they are playing very, very well. But when it comes to the crunch, and the crunch will come, that's when they need that steel. And that's where Graham West will be trying to tell them that don't let's get into fantasy land about winning easy tonight. We still have a long way to go.
Will the crunch come, do you think, at Knowsley Road on August Bank Holiday Monday?
I think so.
Is that the place?
I think so. I think that that will probably decide it, because I think that St Helens and Wigan, this season, it'll be a two-horse race. I'd like to think that Leeds, Featherstone and Castleford, can come through, and Warrington, but I think it's those two.
So it's Wigan against Saints as far as Steve-O is concerned, and of course Wigan stealing a march on the rest with their victory here tonight. The rest of them, of course, they all come to the starting line on Sunday. And here's Bill Arthur now with a review of all the news from the camps around the big league.
Seize the day.
Marcus Vasilakopoulos will miss Leeds opening Stones Bitter Centenary Championship clash against Sheffield Eagles at the Don Valley Stadium on Sunday. He received a one-match ban following his sending off in last Sunday's Charity Shield match for a trip on Wigan's Nigel Wright. Second rower Andy Hay, the England World Cup squad member signed during the summer, will make his debut for Sheffield Eagles on Sunday, along with former Doncaster prop Sonny Wakarau, hooker Johnny Lawless, and the highly promising 18-year-old scrum half Dean Lawford. Welsh captain Jonathan Davis returns from his summer stint playing in Australia's Winfield Cup to face the London Broncos at Wilderspool on Sunday. Summer signings Andy Courier and Mark Jones are also in the 17-man squad to face the visitors from the capital. The Broncos await the arrival of several of their close-season Australian signings, but ex-Featherstone star Ikram Butt will make his debut for the Londoners, along with the former Newcastle Knights star Shane Vincent. Paul Newlove has a slight shin problem, but the Bradford Bulls hope he'll be fit in time to face Saints on Sunday. Newlove, who handed in a shock transfer request following the departure of Peter Fox, needs just one try for a career total of 200 in club and representative matches. Bobby Goulding leads St Helens into their opening Stones Bitter Centenary Championship match against the revamped Bradford Bulls on Sunday. The Saints will be without Alan Hunt, sidelined with a long-term knee problem, but they welcome back a fully fit Scott Gibbs into their strong-looking squad. Castleford coach John Joyner is playing his cards close to his chest. He'll delay naming his squad for Sunday's visit of Oldham while he waits for news of a couple of niggling injuries. Oldham coach Andy Goodway travels to Weldon Road with a full-strength squad, bolstered by some astute summer signings. Former Wigan star Paul Aitchison and ex-Workington man Francis Maloney will both play for the Lancashire side.
So that's the Sunday preview coming up on Sky Sports tomorrow night at 12:30 a.m. The Winfield Cup action. It's of course exclusive to us here on Sky Sports, building up to the grand final next month. On Sunday night, 8:30, note that new time, Saints against Bradford Bulls. The Saints against Bradford Bulls from Nosey Road, 8:30 Sunday night. Tuesday night, Boots and All at 10:30. Boots and All with all the gossip from the big league. Tuesday night at 10:30. Join Steve and me for that. Next Friday, we'll be rounding up Castleford against Leeds at this time. Cass against Leeds, one of the Yorkshire occasions of the season, a great local derby. St Helens against Wigan, just a note for your diary, on Bank Holiday Monday, August the 28th. We're on air at 1 o'clock. The game itself kicks off at 2, so an hour's build-up. And that Winfield Cup Grand Final, it's at 5:30 a.m, September the 24th, Sunday morning, live and exclusive here on Sky Sports. Winfield Cup Grand Final. Great stuff coming up on the big league then. And as we say cheerio to Greg McCallum and Mike Stevenson. A comment on Steve-O, Greg?
You know how sometimes bullets have names on them? We've got 2 cards here, Steve. I didn't need them tonight. They're back in the pocket.
You'll need them next week. We just heard that Phil McKenzie's got a broken wrist. Bad news for Workington. We will see you next week on Sunday. Goodbye.
Hello there and a very good evening to you. Welcome to the Sky Sports Centre update. The sporting headlines so far this evening. Andrei Kanchelskis has urged Everton and Manchester United to sort out their transfer row. The Ukrainian winger has refused to return to Old Trafford for training despite the breakdown of his £5 million move to Goodison. Another row is brewing over Linford Christie's decision to pull out of Britain's international match against the USA at Gateshead next